Hello and welcome and hello. What a glorious Friday. It is August 18, 2023. The time is 9:52 a.m. out here in beautiful hurricane expectant Los Angeles. We have Hurricane Hillary bearing down on us faster than a set of cankles in a pantsuit campaigning for a job. In any case, guys, my name's Danny Deals. The show is Un Poco Mas, where we try to give you just a little bit more, guys. Today, if the day ends in a Y and we are about to get smashed by a hurricane, I want to talk to you about SoFi Technologies Incorporated, ticker symbol SOFI. The best thing you can do, guys, for disaster preparedness is buy growth stocks. Yes, they won't do you any good right now, but if you survive the storm 5 to 10 years from now, financial security will be your reward. Guys, the SoFi stock has been on one hell of a wild ride since the earnings report. Can you believe the earnings report was just less than 3 weeks ago? Stock shoots up way over 11 on a pump, all the way down, crashing below. I think I looked at the pre-market. I woke up to go to the restroom in the middle of the night. Of course, I glance at my phone, as I'm wont to do. And I think the stock was at like 784 or something. I was just like, okay, back to sleep. I don't want to look at this anymore. So in any case, guys, the stock has been on a really wild ride. They killed almost all the options. People gave up on them. So that $8 option is actually up a little bit, but most all the volume is out of the options. So people, gave up on those probably yesterday or earlier in the week. We just see downtrend, and then with the Fed, announcing that they're going to hike again. There's just not a lot of catalysts that were moving the market up the last couple of weeks. And, since we had a rally, I think the market was just, rationally selling off. People, fear, uncertainty, and doubt sometimes is real, but SoFi Technologies, the earnings report was solid, and everybody has the same question. Of course, 18 million shares traded today, guys, up 13 cents. In the first, what's it been, 3.5 hours of trading. So, the volume's pretty moderate, but looks like it's probably going to be significantly higher than yesterday. Why is the stock up today? Nasdaq's a little bit down, almost came back to flat. The other Upstart and Affirm both down a bit, Palantir down a bit, but SoFi was just punished. There's a good article out today on Seeking Alpha. It's SoFi, another irrational beatdown by Stonefox Capital. This is Mark Holder. And again, guys, I encourage you to actually look at people you're reading articles by, like who is it by. Sometimes these articles are just throwaway stuff by people who have nothing to do with stocks or finance. This guy is a certified public accountant with degrees in accounting and finance. He also holds a Series 65 license and has 30 years investing experience, including 10 years as a portfolio manager. So, guys, that resume pretty much speaks for itself. We're going to take a quick look at this article a little bit later, but people are saying, does the stock find support? I don't know. Again, there's this one guy on here who's like, "Yeah, you're shilling for the stock. You never say it's gonna." The reason, guys, I thought 9 was going to hold is just because you know 9 was resistance here back at the end of June, and then the stock consolidated around 9 quite a bit pre-earnings, and then on the pump. I thought it was pretty reasonable. The stock coming in at 950, I thought it was pretty reasonable that we would see like a 5 to 7% loss below that level after the pump, and that 9 looked pretty solid. Obviously, I was wrong, and at this point, it tried to hold 9. You see the green candle here. But it just wasn't in the cards, guys. The market makers had other ideas, and the stock just continued to sell off. I've been saying for like months now. That $8.13 is a key level to maintaining this new channel. I think we were trading in 813 to 891 range. It tried to pop up above 9, obviously failed in that respect, and came all the way back down below 8. Um, the question is, are we going to maintain this little brown poo color dotted downtrend, or are we going to, get back up above this support line and get back up into the channel that we want to be in as bulls above the, you know, above this line of support, essentially? I don't know what's going to happen, but my sense is there's not a lot of downside. I know people are going to say, you always say that. You always say that. Um, the stock was at $9.55, I think, prior to earnings. And if you're able to just sort of ignore the pump and dump, you can see the downward trend decelerating. So, you guys notice back here once, twice, three times, four times, five times, six times, seven times. The stock tests that lower line of this downward trend here. It never actually tests this upper line, so that this upper line is basically bullshit anyway. But the point is, guys, it's pushing up off of that lower line here, and the slope of the decrease is becoming more, more gradual, less steep, a more flat line, and then basically trying to flatten out right here, guys. You see that, since mm, basically, I don't know, you come back all the way here, the 11th, and the stock has basically been trading flat since the 11th. I don't know, where is that right here? You see, I don't know where that level is exactly. It's like $8.37 or something, bottoms out right there. So, I mean, right now it's at 823. I don't see, the sort of sell off has been over for a few days, but that doesn't mean, the downtrend is broken or anything. It just means it's kind of fighting competing forces. You can see, obviously, these two channels, one sort of in the medium term in the blue, and the other more in the short term in the brown dotted line. They're intersecting here, and you see there's a bit of a fight there. And I don't know how it's going to turn out, but if you look again at the options, you can see those $8. That's where the action is right now. 31,000 open interest, 5,600 volume. That's actually up 35% on the day. And I'm guessing that mostly market makers own those options, and the worthless ones up higher, say that $9 call, that's probably a lot of retail investors, because it just seems to be the way of the arrow, is that a lot of retail investors tend to lose money on these short-term call options. But in any case, guys, let me get you a quick check of the short interest on the day. Exciting stuff. Sorry, I have not had enough coffee, guys. Been a very long week. Been in the office like, 5 to 6 a.m. every single day. Got a lot of exciting things going on. And in that, to that end, I would like to say a huge congratulations to Princess J, my sweetheart. What an accomplishment. There will be announcements soon, but businesswoman, um, it's just incredible, guys. Princess J, we love you. I love you. Cutes loves you. In any case, guys, back to the SoFi stock. The live short interest is, let's see, it's pretty even today, negative 280,000 shares, so 1.6 return. So letting up even a little bit more on the short, of course. Estimated short interest still 14% of the free float. Of course, they are adding shares all the time, guys, as you could see in the filings. Gave the directors each 26,000 more restricted shares. So, just giving away $250,000 at a time, just diluting our balls off, having fun. But so the short interest still remaining about 14%. The shares on loan and all these other statistics are just way, way down. But you're just not seeing like mass covering or anything. It's still 14% short interest of the free float. Probably a lot of short long players hedging their bets. And so finally, guys, let's just take a look at SoFi, another irrational beatdown, and that's there's a lot of press out, a lot of positive press for fintech and stuff lately. So I think like market makers are trying to push this up. Trend and market are trying to push fintech back down. But SoFi Technologies has consistently collapsed following strong ERs. Leaving the stock trading below the $10 SPAC deal price. The digital bank's expansion into mortgage loan market could be a major. Stock only trades at 14.5x next year's adjusted EBITDA targets, despite growth of nearly 60%, doesn't add up. And again, Mark Holder, CPA, degrees in accounting and finance, licensed investment advisor, 10 years portfolio manager. So this guy tends to know what he's talking about, I would guess, at least more so than myself. But in a now, what is that? One of those Real Housewives for SoFi? What the fuck? Um, no, I think that's Vanderpump Rules. I don't know who the fuck that is. Somebody from reality TV. In a now consistent pattern, SoFi has collapsed following another strong earnings report. The digital bank platform has now reported a very consistent and strong history of growing following the SPAC deal in the late 2020, but the stock actually trades below the $10 price. My investment thesis remains ultra bullish on the stock on another dip to $8. So SoFi traded up to toward $10 heading into earnings. Strong earnings report beating consensus estimates by 15 million, sending the stock soaring to a multi-year high, nearly $12. A couple weeks later, SoFi is trading back towards support around $8. The move follows a similar pattern over the last year, where the market sells off initial strong results. Back following Q4 2022 earnings on January 30th, SoFi soared to a multi-year high, topping $8. The fintech beat analyst revenue targets by 17.6 million. Blah blah blah. Um, and within no time, SoFi was back trading below $5. And I think we all remember that fondly. The moves are hard to explain, other than analysts want to value like SoFi like a traditional fintech, while the company continues to produce results, the financials more like a growth stock. The average analyst price target is only 968, $2 below the recent high. Seven analysts, so analysts are not exactly bullish. It's more neutral at this point. Several analysts have actually just raised. Piper Sandler went from 8 to 9, maintained their hold. Citi went from 10 to 12, so that's almost a 50% upside. Mizuho has 81% upside. I still note the two top-rated analysts, Truist, he has a 93% upside, and Jeffries. Those are both solid, complete five-star analysts. They have the stock almost doubling. So I think he's a little bit off in terms of where the analysts are on the stock. At least the good analysts. He's like averaging in the Chia Pet, who's just basically a bag of dog shit. Remember, SoFi just reported 37% revenue growth, yet most analysts don't like the stock. The fintech guided to 2023 adjusted EBITDA of 338 million, up 60 million from prior guidance, and analyst EBITDA estimates around 546 million for 2024. The stock has a market cap of just below 7.9, placing the 2024 adjusted EBITDA multiple at just 14.5x. Talking about the mortgage boost, everybody's focused on student loans. Real catalyst could be massive mortgage debt market. Q2 New York Fed reported total mortgage debt of 12 trillion as 7.5x larger than student debt of 1.6 trillion. You can see the table there if you want to take a look at it. I do highly recommend Seeking Alpha, guys. I think they have the best authors. It's not that I love all their other stuff, like the charting and stuff. It's not that good, but I just think they have much more qualified, insightful authors that do in-depth research and actually understand what they're talking about, like a lot more than yours truly. If you read some of the other sites, your sort of, Motley Fool, Investor Place, most of those articles are just throwaways. But Seeking Alpha, you get better analysis, in my opinion. And by the way, they don't pay me any damn thing or no affiliates or whatever. But I just one of my favorite places to read articles on stocks. So anyway, they bought a mortgage lender, as you guys know. The digital bank originated 90 million worth of mortgage loans in Q1. The amount jumped to 243 million in Q2 with the addition of Wyndham Capital Mortgage. So that's a nice increase in originations there. The amount is far below the 3.7 billion in personal loans, and still far below student debt refinancing that used to top 1 billion per quarter. Still, the mortgage market is 12x the size of the credit card debt market, usually funneled into personal loans. The mortgage market could further open up financial services segment where money, invest, and credit card products continue to surge. Borrowers with large mortgages are likely to have more money to invest and spend more on credit cards. Financial services segment continues to grow faster than lending products. Financial services products jumped 47% year over year to 7.9 million products. Financial services revenues surged during Q2 to $98 million for 223% growth. The segment is a big contributor to improvement in profit picture with the contribution loss improving by over 49 million year on year to a loss of only 4 million. Takeaway conclusion here. The key investor takeaway is that SoFi Technologies is poised to fire on all cylinders heading into the year end with the restart of student debt payments. Investors selling the stock aren't looking at the bigger picture, with the digital bank moving more aggressively into home mortgage market to again expand the financial services flywheel. The bears are very short-sighted and stupid. Surprise. The stock is too cheap at only $8, trading at just 14.5 forward adjusted EBITDA targets. Investors should again use the post-earnings sell-off to load up on SoFi. Not financial advice. Buy SoFi. Guys, let's just take a look at where we are on the day. Sitting at $8.22. Charts looking pretty good on the day. It's just been kind of flatlining there in that 820, but just a little bit of an uptrend there in the last couple of hours. Volume approaching 19 million shares. Guys, that's the SoFi stock. Again, I'd like to see the stock hold that $8.13 area. And come back off of that. I haven't seen, this little dipsy doodah. This was about 812, and then the stock broke down overnight below the $8 level, but regained it very convincingly and has held significantly, or at least a little bit above support. So you know, so far support holds, but it's very, very tenuous. Do you want to call this the bottom if you swing turded it, or we're trying to flip shares, or maybe you're just starting a new position? It's very hard to say, guys, because this little some of the penny stocks and growth stocks getting a little bit of a reprieve today. I mean, the market's been getting hammered there for 2 weeks straight, so the fact that you get a little bit of a recovery, a little bit of a could just be like a bounce. It doesn't mean that this is the bottom. It doesn't mean this is the place to go in. If you look at it coming down, almost 30%, whatever, off of that recent high on the pump, and like, you know, fully more than 10% down, like what is it, 13% down off of just the level like 955 it was. I think that's a pretty good pullback on what was a fairly decent earnings report. But we can't change the overall market. The trend is your friend, just like the trend can be your enemy. But SoFi is not a stock that is doing anything so monumental, or not the size or the scope where it's going to be able to buck the overall market. So you have to decide where you want to come in. The shares I flipped, which wasn't very much of my shares at all, I bought back in around like 850. So I obviously didn't time the bottom, but you can really never time the bottom exactly. You can just use your best judgment and hope that you are somewhere in the neighborhood. Guys, it's the SoFi stock. The ticker symbol is SOFI, sitting at $8.20, right about meow. My name is Danny Deals. For Hurricane Lopez and Stock Karen, we would like to say thank you very much for tuning in to Un Poco Mas, the show where we try to give you just a little bit more. It's August 18, 2023, about halfway through the trading day. We got a hurricane bearing down on us, so I'm going to go board up my windows and eat a hoagie in anticipation of the storm. Thanks a lot, guys. Hope you guys have a great Friday and a great weekend. We will talk at you again soon. Try to relax and enjoy your weekend. Don't worry about your stocks. They're going to be here to haunt your dreams again on Monday. You guys have a great one. Bye bye.